Bang, bang. What's up, guys? Lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful, intelligent Polina Marinova. Today, she just got normal clothes on. I don't know what.
No, I'm sporty today.
Okay, we won't tell the people how unathletic you are. Not very athletic. But let's get into TikTok. What's going on with TikTok?
So TikTok is, TikTok, the short form video app that is used by teens and sometimes adults who should not be on there.
If I was on TikTok, I would be a star. I'm not on TikTok, but if I was, watch out.
So TikTok's owner, ByteDance, is a China-based company that reportedly made a profit of $3 billion on $17 billion of revenue last year. I mean, that's absurd.
I mean, look, I actually think that's low, which a lot of people would disagree with. But think about it. They have over 2 billion downloads. They're like as big as Facebook is. Facebook's a $400 billion company that's got all this monetization and it's been able to grow and scale a massive business in the public markets. ByteDance is reportedly valued somewhere between $100 and $110 billion.
Yeah.
They did 17 billion in revenue, $3 billion in profit, and they supposedly have $6 billion of cash on hand. I just think it's a small business compared to what they've been able to do from a download and user basis.
What I find fascinating is that the U.S. government keeps trying to kind of like get it shut down by saying that, there's security concerns, how they store their data, censorship of content. And it doesn't matter because the biggest stars on TikTok are US based.
Yeah. Well, look, if we want to talk about censorship, we might as well shut YouTube down because you saw recently, I don't know for anyone who didn't see, there was terminology that's used to describe the CCP. Every time you would comment that on a YouTube video, it was automatically deleted. And when YouTube got called out on this, basically they said, oh, whoops, that was by accident. So it's all nonsense, right?
Maybe it was by accident.
Well, let's go back to TikTok for a second. The reason why I say this is because when I was at Facebook in 2014, 2015, we had 1 billion users, but the business was much, much bigger. And so the whole idea is if you think about the average revenue per user for TikTok, they actually don't have that big of an advertising surface, right? Yesterday, when I looked at TikTok, they now run an ad. So when you open the app, there's an ad of Jennifer Lopez, who I'm assuming goes to everybody. That's got to be a ton of revenue. And then obviously they put ads in the stream. But for Facebook, for example, what they were doing is everything from feed ads to mobile ads, to they had gaming revenue, like they had a much more diversified revenue stream.
Right.
I don't think that TikTok has that yet. The hope here and what is potentially an opportunity for investment is that people who own equity in the company today can grow into a Facebook-like company because they learn how to monetize better. But 17 billion sounds like a big number, except for if you look at how much users there are.
How do you feel it being a China-based company?
Look, I get the concerns. If you don't want to use the app, don't use the app. If you want to use the app, use the app. Like, I don't understand what the big deal is.
So what are you going to do when it's, I mean, yes, for you and me and whatever, but like a bunch of the users are 14-year-old girls. What do they know about what China's doing with their data and all that stuff?
But again, if you're putting content on the internet, you're making a conscious choice to put your data out there, right? And so do you think that people aren't doing that on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or whatever? If you take photos and put them on the internet, you're contributing to public information.
But now you're dealing with the Chinese government.
What do you think the Chinese government doesn't have access to the internet? Of course, they'll just scrape it off Facebook. They'll scrape it off Twitter. They'll scrape it off Google, right? Okay. And so the whole idea is like, again, this is the classic balance between convenience and security. If you want to have a super secure, no surveillance world, get rid of all of your electronics.
So when you have kids, what are you going to tell your children about the internet?
Everything you put up there is going to last forever.
And they're like, okay, I just want to put, dance videos on TikTok.
That's fine. Knock yourself out. But like, again, we're operating in a world where it used to be the default was you had privacy and, oh my God, did an photo get posted? Now everyone's operating in a world where default is public and they're sharing and sharing and sharing. There's obviously benefits that come with that. We get all this great content, entertainment, information, whatever. There's also downsides to it. And you just got to be smart. By the way, we screwed up.
What?
We forgot. This episode is sponsored by BlockFi. Get money, get paid. Bam, you guys thought you could skip through the ads? No, you can't. I hit you with the BlockFi ad because I forgot. But BlockFi's got 3 products. You can deposit crypto and they'll give you a US dollar loan. You can deposit and earn up to 8.6% APY, unheard of interest rate, or you can buy and sell crypto. Go check them out at the link in the description. We'll tell you more after the episode, but I ain't forget. Get money, get paid. Speaking of getting paid, let's talk about Zoox.
Zoox.
Zoox. Is it Zoox or Zoox? It's Zoo with an X. Why don't they just call it Zoox? Like SpaceX, Zoox.
I think it's called Zoox, not
Zoox.
to be confused with the dating app Zoox. Because I used to confuse it. Not that I was on the dating app Zoox. Okay.
We won't go there. Men date, sidestep. Let's keep going. What's going on with Zoox?
Zoox. Amazon is in advanced talks to buy Zoox, which is the self-driving car tech company. What the hell is Amazon doing in autonomous driving?
Well, first of all, Zoox is not an autonomous car in terms of they're not making the cars.
Yes.
They're just add-on technology. So take your regular car and you can basically pimp it out with all this stuff,
So
all
why
these
is Amazon
cameras and
interested
stuff. And then now it turns your car into a self-driving car. Well, think about it. What is Amazon? A lot of people forget. Amazon, a very, very big part of their business is to build the largest logistics network in the world, right? They're trying to compete with FedEx and UPS and all this stuff. So what is going to be an inflection point or a major leap forward in that race is going to be who can get to autonomy first, right? If all of a sudden you now have a fleet of autonomous cars that can do deliveries.
It's autonomous, not autonomous.
Whatever. Everyone knows robots driving your cars. That's fine. Then also, what if they can have robots who actually deliver for all of the Amazon Prime stuff? Or what about if you have delivery for all their Whole Foods grocery shopping, right? Like that is where the world is going. And so Amazon's probably going through a build or buy exercise. And if these people have great technology, then of course you're going to end up just buying them because Amazon's got ungodly amount of money, right? Jeff Bezos went through a divorce, lost $30 billion. He's still the richest man in the world.
I can't even.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Do you think that this is a good idea for them to buy it?
Honestly, I was just thinking, if I was at Amazon, had an unlimited amount of capital, I just go buy everything.
Well, that's kind of what they're doing. They're talking about buying AMC theaters. They already bought Whole Foods. They'll maybe buy a self-driving company. They bought PillPack.
Do we want to live in an Amazon Jeff Bezos world is the question.
Yes. Think about what Jeff Bezos has done for commerce and for advancement.
I know, but I'm not a fan of monopolies.
Okay, but the whole idea of why did it become a monopoly, right? And by the way, I don't even think it's a monopoly, but it's definitely getting close. The whole idea is they had better technology. They have a better company. The reason why you order from Amazon is because they can get you goods cheaper and faster than anyone else. If they couldn't, you'd go somewhere else. That is the beauty of a free market.
Yeah, but they're kind of stifling innovation and competition. That's why I can't go to anybody else.
How?
By buying everything.
Shopify is doing just fine. Shopify is a competitor to Amazon. Shopify is helping everyone else, and their stock is on an absolute tear.
Okay.
As Shopify says, they're trying to arm the rebels because Amazon's like the Goliath, and the rebels are the Davids in this scenario, and that's what Shopify's trying to do. So now you have a Shopify versus Amazon showdown.
I don't think Shopify is anywhere near Amazon's scale or.
No, but they're in a different business. That's the beauty of it. So Amazon is vertically integrated. That's the whole beauty of Amazon's business model is that Jeff Bezos understood. He put a wedge in through books, right? I'm going to get you guys to buy books online. He's talked a bunch about why he started with books. And then as he went horizontal to other verticals to sell online, he also realized if I can get vertically integrated with the store online, plus the supplier fulfillment centers, plus the transportation network, plus AWS, plus all this stuff, what you get that vertical integration is you get massive efficiencies of scale, which is what he has. Good for him. You know what? He should be the richest man in the world. He built the most powerful company in the world, probably.
Okay. So next, Hertz.
Speaking of losers, they're losers.
Okay. But speaking, your transitions need to get better.
Am I getting live coaching?
Okay. Hertz,
yes.
It filed for bankruptcy the other day on Friday. Now things are coming out that it paid $16.2 million in bonuses days before declaring bankruptcy.
No. Important words here. The company did not pay $16.2 million in bonuses days before they
No, it
filed
says
for
the company
bankruptcy.
paid.
Yeah. Well, guess what? This is because you're reading carscoops.com. At pompscoops.com, it is the executives paid themselves $16.2 million in bonuses to a broad base of key employees at the director level and above.
Well, hold on a second.
Go ahead.
They were given the money in recognition of the financial and operational uncertainty of the company given the coronavirus pandemic, extra work done by them as a result, cutting thousands of jobs, and the forfeiture of their participation in the company's usual bonus plan.
So again, we have a company that is running out of money, and literally as they were shutting down, getting ready to file for bankruptcy, they hit a quick bonus button, and the bonus button fired off $16.2 million to all the executives, directors, etc. What they did, if you are pay attention to the crypto world, this is called an exit scam. This is a corporate exit scam. As it's going out of business, grab as much cash as you can. But the problem is they took that from shareholders. The shareholders of the business have a stake to that capital.
Yeah. So I was reading this the other day about how basically Hertz has so much debt, it takes 2 pages of small print to summarize. And this Financial Times reporter says Hertz is basically a bank that rents cars.
Well, because what they basically do is of that $17 billion in debt, 13 billion of it is in asset-backed loans. Or self-securitizations. That's how they basically get all the cars, right? Is they're doing a bunch of financial engineering. But look, at the end of the day, speaking of self-driving cars, how about Uber has decimated these rental car companies, right? When you go to the airport now, right, on the way there, or when you land in a new city, I don't rent a car. I just pull up Uber.
Right.
Bang, bang. By the way, they're legitimately, somebody needs to say this, so I'm just going to say it. She's going to get mad at me. These people are scumbags for what they did. Like, that is the scummiest of scum things to do. I tweeted this article yesterday, and I said, in the Army, there's a saying that leaders eat last, right? So it's the whole idea. Let's say that you have, a whole team of soldiers underneath you. Every time you go to eat, they go first, you eat last. And if there's no food left over, you just don't eat. But you always take care of them before you take care of yourself. But at Hertz, they don't eat last. They literally took the money last and then walked out the door. And so it's just, look, at the end of the day, they're not going to get punished. It's going to go by. They're going to, use all their corporate speak to say this is why people are getting the bonuses. But it just shows that corporate America is super greedy, and they do things that may not be illegal, but I would consider them to be unethical.
And what does the coronavirus expose?
Every sham in society. Speaking of something that is not a sham, Substack.
So if you've been paying attention on Twitter and to Lunch Money, more and more reporters are just leaving their media organizations and trying to do the independent journalist thing and joining Substack.
We're big fans of Substack over here.
Well,
Substack.com.
I use it, and
so do I.
Yeah.
We were some of the earliest users, and their whole thing is they basically said, how can we help creators, people who write for newsletters? How do we give them the tools to do this independently and help monetize their work and align the company Substack with the creator? Now, all of a sudden, what's happening is all these reporters are realizing, wait a second, all a media company is, it's like a talent agency. They go and they get a bunch of talent. They tell them, work, we're going to pay you a set salary, and then we're going to take all your work and we're going to sell it to people, whether it's advertisers or the consumer. And then even if you provide more value over time, we're going to keep paying you.
Isn't that how every company works now?
Yeah, but the difference is that most employees, like if you're an engineer at, let's say, Zoox, you can't go out and just start your own self-driving company without raising tons of money and like having a whole team. Like, you can't do it by yourself. A reporter just has to write. So literally they could do their work on their own and just get people to pay them directly for it, right? It's similar to like being a carpenter at a carpentry company. You could leave and just be a carpenter by yourself.
And a lot of times, like, especially if you're, one of these people who write a newsletter, say at the media organization, you can kind of see that, like, based on what you write, advertisers are paying for what you write. So, I mean, you could go and do it on your own, you could do something else, but it's interesting because now as media organizations find themselves in these tough times and they have to lay people off, I think more reporters are starting to think like, oh shit, like what do I have going for me that I can monetize?
Yeah, and here's the part. Remember what I said about Shopify arming the rebels against Amazon? Substack is technically arming the rebels against legacy media, right? They're giving the tools. If you want to go be an insurgent, leave and go fight your own fight.
It's scary to leave.
Well, you did it.
Yeah.
Read theprofile.com.
But I'm not anymore.
Alex Kantrowitz is the latest to leave. He left BuzzFeed. He was like the lead tech reporter there. Does fantastic work and is leaving. He's going to start a podcast. He's going to start this newsletter. And so good for him. I think it's cool. All right. Ford SUV in the ridiculous story of the day. What are these?
It's not that ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
So, wait. Let me preface the story with yesterday we went on a walk and we walked past the police station and all these
technically the special operations of the New York Police Department. It's like the SWAT team.
Okay. So we passed them and they were coming out and they were joking with each other. What did one of them say?
Like, one of them, hey, you clean that car? You clean my car? Did you clean my car? And they were switched. They were like basically doing a shift change, and two of the guys were getting out of one car and two of them were going into the car. And no lie, they literally had like some kind of disinfectant spray, gloves, masks, all this stuff. And they were like cleaning, like you would see, like a janitorial service cleaning.
We're scrubbing.
And the whole thing is that there's lots of germs that obviously are in those cars. If you're constantly putting people in and out of the cars, then the germs. But you know how you could keep the germ spread down? Leave people alone. Don't put them in the back of the car. Don't arrest them. But that's a whole other thing. So what's Ford going to do to help save them?
Okay. So because of coronavirus, a lot the New York City Police Department asked for a better way to sanitize its vehicles because I guess they don't want to be scrubbing down every car.
Well, the cops are probably like, yo, I signed up to be a police officer. I didn't sign up to wash down the car every day.
So Ford created software that will burn the germs out of the police department's SUVs. So it will raise the interior temperature of the car to 133 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Apparently, this is a solution to coronavirus, guys.
Don't believe it. Nope.
It says that's hot enough and long enough to kill more than 99% of disease-causing germs in the vehicle, including the coronavirus.
So I used to believe this theory, and then I did some research, and I thought if I went in the sauna that I wouldn't get coronavirus because it's just the heat will kill it. And then I learned that that's not true. And so somehow Ford believes that it's true you can kill it with heat. I'm sure that there is some benefit to doing this, but I do not buy that we're going to turn the cars. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have biodefense mode. That's literally what they're doing. They're going to just burn the hell out of it by making it 133 degrees for 15 minutes, then cool it down, and all of a sudden all the disease is gone.
Ford better hope that this thing doesn't malfunction with people in there. Like all of a sudden you're like, hey, you're getting hot.
Yeah, I'm not buying this at all. But by the way, look, it's cool they're trying to use technology. It's a new software update to their cars. I love that they're trying. I just don't think that that's going to be the answer. You can see how this goes wrong in a whole bunch of ways. And look, wait till somebody says, "Oh, Ford, you're now selling cars on the fact that there's no viruses." They go and they do some tests. They prove it's not right, and then there's a lawsuit against Ford. We live in a screwed up world, but hey, good for them for trying.
All right, ready?
What's up with SpaceX? SpaceX, man, big day today. Big day. I'm so hyped. I woke up this morning. I couldn't sleep.
He goes, "Oh man!" The only thing I hear is, "Oh man, there's a SpaceX hype video."
Yeah, I mean, listen, SpaceX and NASA launched a hype video today called Launch America, and it's just like it's like Monday Night Football. SpaceX launches, like, let's go.
God, I miss sports for you. So SpaceX.
This is bigger than sports.
SpaceX raised $346.2 million in its most recent funding round. Wow. And that's,
who cares?
Well,
they've raised billions of dollars. Let's get to the good stuff. What's going on with the space takeoff?
All right. Space Takeoff. You can watch it live today. I think it starts in like at
4:30 p.m. Eastern time is what it's supposed to happen.
But the live stream starts earlier than that. So yeah, it's exciting.
So they're going to take 2 astronauts. They're going to launch them into space. These are the first manned space flight from the United States since 2011, in almost a decade. We've been paying Russia $80 million a seat to take our astronauts up to the International Space Station. We're going to put 2 dudes in the Crew Dragon capsule. We're going to launch them to space with a reusable rocket. We're going to land the rocket back here on Earth. Then they are going to go up into space. They are going to autonomously connect the Dragon capsule to the International Space Station. Our 2 astronauts are going to walk their little asses onto the International Space Station.
If you're Elon Musk, you must be sweating right now. You must be like, oh shit, like this has got to go well.
No, I think what's happening right now is you're probably pretty in the zone of just like, let's make sure we do everything right. And you haven't yet had the opportunity to realize the gravity of the situation because he's so focused, him and the team. Remember, this is a whole team effort here. This is not an Elon Musk only. This is SpaceX. The whole team is so focused on let's make sure we get it right.
Yeah.
Right. And then after the fact, you'll see if this works, they'll go nuts.
But I mean, if this works means if these guys don't die and make it there, like, successful.
Look, but you got to remember the only way that they're going to actually do this launch is if they have a very, very high probability and confidence level that it's going to work. 1, 2 is I think that there's only been a handful of times where we've gone to launch actual humans. Now there's been other issues, but with humans in them, I know the Challenger, there might be 1 or 2 others where there's been issues and especially where it's blown up. And we do a lot of across the world launching people into space. And so it's actually not that common for there to be issues, but people, are you yawning? Is she yawning? It's one of the most exciting days in all of technology and business, and you're yawning?
I zoned out for a second.
We talked about the zoning out.
I zoned back in.
But that's not a thing.
Go on.
All right, guys.
Wait. No, I have one more thing.
What?
So you know how what? So you know how normally like these astronauts. Oh, I said it. I said the word astronauts.
Sorry, I zoned out. What'd you say?
So you know how normally astronauts are like they have this long goodbye and like they leave a lot of their family behind when they go on these missions, whatever.
Do they ever not leave their families behind?
Well, this is cool because both of them, their wives are also astronauts.
Oh, the 2 astronauts going up to space today, both of their wives are astronauts?
Yes, it's cool.
What, you think they just were like, hey, should we go on a double date to the International Space Station?
No.
No? Oh,
but that'd be cool.
Would you go?
What, on a double date to the space station?
No, just in the capsule and go up to space. No, why?
I don't like roller coasters, so I feel like I don't want to be launched. I don't want to be like shot up. I'm
speechless. Speechless, guys. That's it for Lunch Money today. Well, Wall Street's trying to get rich. The rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. Hopefully, Polina will stay awake for tomorrow's episode.
Gravity is cool. What?
Gravity is cool. Where'd that come from?
Well, because you don't want to be shot up or launched. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.